If you're finding it difficult to turn your Univalve on and off, then what you're going to need is a service kit. So in this video I'm going to show you how to service your Univalve. Now the service kit costs you around about 30 quid and a new Univalve is 40 quid. So it's going to save you £10, and if you're someone who's got about 6 different poles and different people working for you, that means it's going to save you 60 quid. This is how you'll get the Univalve service kit. It will come through the post inside of packaging, and when you open it up it will all be in a clear bag, all the component parts. The only thing that you'll probably need to go with it, and you already own, is your O-clips. Inside the clear bag then, when you open them up, what we get is this, a syringe containing silicone grease. You also get a plunger stem, which you'll see has got a spring on it. And then below that you get this part called the gear. You'll notice how one side is completely straight and the other side is jagged. We get an end cone, and then also below that we get a new O-ring. Together these are all the items that come with the service kit. What you'll see here is the Univalve, which is the one I'm going to service using the service kit, and I've detached all the pole hose from the brush. What I'm going to do now is take the Univalve apart. So I've got these indentations here. There's one this side and one the opposite side, and they're located below these 2 square holes here. Basically what I'm going to do is use the O-clips. The O-clips are going to go inside these indentations, and then using a firm grip of the Univalve, I'm going to give the end cone a turn with the O-clips, and this is going to unlock it all. Once it's unlocked, I'll then be able to by hand pull out the guts or the plunger and the stem out of the Univalve. It does need a bit of a tug to get it free, but it's doable definitely. And here it is taken out of the Univalve. What I'm doing now is just showing you with my fingers the gear, and you can see when you pull on the Univalve, it's this that compresses the spring to help you turn it on and off. And this is the new plunger stem side by side, and you can see basically how we're going to put it back together. What I'm pointing out here is the O-ring. And then once you've done all that, it's basically cut off your old pole hose from the Univalve. Okay, once I've got it stripped down, what I've tried to do is get the old Univalve all laid out and the new service kit below it. And I've got everything basically copied from the old one, so it's all laid out correctly, and basically I'm working out how it's going to go back together, and I've got everything facing the right way round. Like you'll see on the plunger stem, it's pretty obvious what way it goes to copy it. But the gear, like I said, I've got one end that's straight and smooth and the other end's jagged, so I've tried to line them up. And you can see I've identified where the O-rings are going to go, and also where the new end cone will go, so it fits back together. And you can obviously see where the old pole hose is going to go on, and this was done before obviously I cut it off. Now I'm going to use that syringe with the silicone grease. I've already pre-done one side and I'm now doing the opposite side. You don't need too much on there because they give you enough, so I've just placed it on. I'm just spreading it around, and just to make sure that bit's lubricated. This is where the gear is going to sit on top. But what I'm pointing out here is you've got these 2 items here, like 2 logs, and you've got 2 long straight bits sticking up as well. Those 2 logs I've just moved, and I'm now pointing out they need to be lined up with the straight bits of plastic that are sticking up, and you'll see why. Once they're lined up, it's easier to push it into the Univalve. If they're not lined up correctly, it's not going to be seated all the way in properly, and it's going to give you problems. And that's what I'm trying to point out here with this stick. It'll go in, and once you've got them 2 lined up, you can see here it goes where the small square is that we pointed out earlier. So it's all in one straight line, and then basically push the plunger stem in and make sure it goes fully in as far as it will. Now this is the gear, and what I'm trying to point out is smooth straight lines that you've got. They're going to be again lined up with the square hole, so you can see that's what I'm doing here. Make sure they're lined up the same way you did with the lugs, and then you're going to push in the gear. The next bit to go on is going to be the new O-ring, and basically push that up, and then you push it in further than what I'm doing here. I found that out later. As you can see in this clip, it's fully in now. Then you're going to put on the end cone. You see on the end cone you've got this little plastic nipple or nibbly bit that's sticking up, and basically you're going to push that in, and that clips into the square hole and locks it all in place. and you can see that indentation that we used earlier will also all be lined up properly. It takes a bit of an effort, but it does go in. Once you've got it all together, you can see now, we now know how to take apart the univalve and how to put it all back together again as well. Once you've got it together, all you need to do then is attach your pole hose, which you can see I've done here. I'm just simply pulling the univalve to check that it's going to turn on and off. When I used the univalve the following day, it was just like brand new, and I couldn't believe the difference. The service kit is also £10 cheaper than buying a brand new one, so if you've got about 6 univalves, that's going to save you 60 quid. Right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again on the next video.